You know how I was talking about in previous plant videos how bugs are terrible here in Texas, and that's why I'm switching everything to semi-hydroponics / LECA? Exhibit A. Look at it. It's terrible. Let's cut to the original footage of what it looked like when I first introduced this plant to you. How far from grace it has fallen. How far from grace indeed. So today's mission, if you accept with me, is to switch this plant to semi-hydroponics and hopefully get rid of whatever is eating it up at the roots. That is my goal today. That is my goal today. I'm honestly not sure if this is gonna be just too little too late for this plant. And I'm not actually entirely sure what is eating it either, but something is obviously eating it. I had put these marble nuggets in there to try to limit any bugs from being able to live in the soil, but that seems to have, oh, I just saw a fly. That seems to have backfired. All right, so I got all of the pebbles out of this plant. By the way, this is a dumb cane. Y'all corrected me in my first plant video when I didn't know what this was. You let me know. It is a dumb cane. We gonna try bring them back, amen? We gonna try to revive said dumb cane. It is what's left of a dumb cane. It was once a dumb cane. Now, now I don't know what he is. You know, you focus on yourself for a minute, take care of your mental health for a minute, and then you check back in on your plants, and a lot of them look like this. While I walk down 4 flights of stairs, a word from our sponsor for today's video. It's me. I'm sponsoring my own video. I've launched an online class going over the basics of Premiere Pro, the editing software I use to edit all of my videos here on this channel and for my production company, Stumblewell. In this hour-and-a-half class, I'll take you from being terrified of this program and its complexity to using keyboard shortcuts, audio editing, color correcting, and finishing your first how-to video. I give you the footage from my Intro to Semi-Hydroponics video to edit along with me as well. Link to get started is in the description box. Send it to that cousin you got that wants to learn how to edit videos, that wants to start their YouTube channel. Send it to them. I think I'm pretty much down the steps. Back to the video. All right, so while I was out there, I did get most of the paper. I don't know why different plant shops are doing this now, where here's some that's still here. They put paper around the plant to, like, I don't know why they do that. I've ended up getting a few plants that have this sort of paper mesh around them. I'm sure it serves some kind of purpose, but to me it just seems to block the plant from growing very well. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I didn't see any bugs necessarily in the dirt that I could spot. I did see what looked like larvae though. So one thing I did was I purposely didn't water this plant for a little while so that way the dirt would dry out, and you probably saw how much easier it was to get it out of the dirt. So I definitely recommend that if you're gonna be someone who's trying to switch a few plants to semi-hydroponics. Let the plant kind of dry out, hopefully not too much, before you switch it over. I mean, and the roots look pretty good. They're dry though, they're definitely dry. I'm honestly not sure if this plant is gonna make it, y'all. Thoughts and prayers for, oh, did I just break it? Oh, I did. I broke that. We're gonna put it in LECA, we're gonna see how it do. But I'm not feeling particularly confident. In the words of Paul Hollywood, that's a shame. Genuine question, can you trim the roots? Let me know in the comments below. I went ahead and trimmed them just because I saw Pick Up Limes do it once. if I notice that the bottoms of the roots are looking a little dead, the roots looking a little frayed, amen, split ends, if you will, I trim them now. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good or a bad thing, but it is what I do, so there we go. And I just have this little plastic jar. I can't remember what this was. It might have been peanut butter. This might be a little too tiny, huh? We'll see. Actually, I think I need to put it further down. Let's try again. Yeah, let's go like halfway and then put it in. Yeah, that feels better. Right now I'm playing around with how big does the container need to be, you know? Does it need to be that big to hold a plant happily? I don't know. This might end up being a little too small for the container, for the plant. But I don't really have anything that's a good size, like not too much bigger than this, but not, I don't really have. Well, the reason why you want to pop a hole in these or do the nursery pots like this is so that way you can easily see how much water is left, you know, instead of having to dump it all out to check and see. So I would put it in this, but I don't have a filler pot to put it in. So, or I haven't popped a hole in this. We're gonna have to leave you in here. We're just gonna have to leave you in here and we're just gonna have to see how this goes, okay? I'm trying. I don't know why, but I feel like downgrading and making him just a smidge tighter, you know, get it tight, get it right, is good for this. I think keeping this tiny might be the best thing. You know what I'm saying? Tiny home. He lives in a tiny home now. That's what we're gonna do. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some nutrient water mixed with Super Thrive for him, and then, you know,